Hello and welcome to another episode of Plantspiration Unplugged. We're John and Stefanie Ignoffo, founders of the nonprofit Plantspiration, and we're on a mission to educate, motivate, and inspire people to improve quality of life for the health of humans, the animals, and the planet.
People know us for losing 250 pounds as a family, reversing a slew of chronic diseases, and now we're reaching and teaching people all over the world how to get healthy too. So get ready to get inspired.
Heck yeah, and don't forget to follow, like, subscribe on YouTube, Insta, Spotify, wherever you see us, share.
Check us out. And don't forget to check out our website, plantspiration.org, our coaching, classes, community, and more, and learn how to eat your plants off too. So, John, this is officially episode 2. We did
I
it.
know, this is great. Give me a high fiber.
There we go. Episode 2, bringing healthy back. You know why?
Huh.
Because no one knows how to get healthy.
Heck yeah.
And this episode, we're going to break it down and show you how to keep it nice and easy without the diseasey.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
I can't.
Episode 2.
I
Let's
know.
take a
Wow,
breath.
this
Hold
is
on.
great.
Everybody take a breath. Whew, that wasn't easy.
All
That
right.
wasn't easy. So, first of all, we want to really thank
Yeah,
everybody. We wouldn't be here, honestly, right now if it wasn't for all the wonderful, amazing feedback that we got. You guys, thank you so much.
definitely. It was amazing. A lot of texts during the week. She's like, "Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. People are loving it. People are really digging it and happy and want to hear more and sending in questions. It's awesome."
We needed those texts. We needed
Yeah.
those feedback.
I need that little dopamine hit.
Why did we need that? Like, why did that matter for us?
Oh, because if we could reflect for a moment on the first episode,
Let's not.
okay.
Maybe we should.
I was just like a little nervous, wasn't really sure how it was going to go, what to expect, and just really didn't. It was hard
We
to
did great.
focus. Yeah, we did, but I just wasn't ready for it or so. I don't know, my head, like
Well, we're overthinking everything. It's an everybody analysis
everybody.
paralysis. We're
Right.
overthinking
Hmm.
everything. So that was hard to watch back.
Yeah, that was.
We're used to doing classes. We're used to being in front of people, on Wednesday night for our cooking classes. And that's easy. We've got props, we've got our apron, we've got our cooking stuff going on, and we've got an agenda. You know what I
Right.
mean? We know what we're doing each week,
Hmm.
but this was a little bit different. This is unplugged. This is letting people into a little bit of our personal life.
Yeah.
And boy, did that come out strong through my client calls this week.
That's
People
great.
people had a lot more questions
That's great, though.
about us and and all I could keep thinking was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for them to see more. I can't wait for them to see more because we know when you start something, it's hard.
Right.
We're but we're it's just gonna keep getting more excited because this, by the way, this podcast, Plantspiration Unplugged, thank you everybody so
Hmm.
much. We're going to the top.
That's right.
Everybody, it's the biggest industry in the world is health and weight loss and diets and this. But everybody over here is learning how to do it.
Right.
It's not just a diet, it's a lifestyle.
Hmm.
What do we say? Change your diet and lifestyle, change your life.
That's right.
And people are learning how to maintain it.
Yeah, that's
So that's why I guess that's why we're here. We're going to get to the questions today for sure. We got cut off last time. Speaking of the last
yeah.
episode, like, oh man.
That was like what a name because it was literally unplugged. I didn't plug it in and just ran out of battery. So that was the end of the show.
Cringe. But you live and learn, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So afterwards, after we did the episode and we watched it back, there was a little tension.
Yeah. I
There
was
was some
like,
tension.
I don't know. Like immediately I was like, oh gosh, I don't know if I could do this again. I just can't watch myself.
Well, I was like, you look like you're like stressed
I was
out
like
or that you're
Cindy
nervous.
Brady on it one
No.
episode with the red light popped on.
Well, I'm a little bit more used to it.
Right.
I'm a little bit more used to podcasts. I'm a little bit more used to interviews.
Yeah.
And I just said something to him like, you seem like you were a little like uptight or tense, and I want you to relax a little bit. And then that criticism was like,
Yeah.
nobody wants to hear any of that. Nobody wants to hear criticism. Nobody wants to look
Right.
back at their faults. Nobody wants to sit and think, what do I need to do different to get this better? That's hard.
Right. But all the good comments and everything really kind of brought me back.
So there you go. There you go right to the dopamine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this kind of plays a part of how I coach, on how to move things from motivation to habit. You know what I mean? We've got the motivation going now. Now it's just about the habit of getting in here, getting the schedule, learning from our mistakes, going back and looking like, what do we need to do different? Because that was hard. I mean, it was
Yeah.
great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I did love watching it back. And I was like, wow, we're really excited and we've got great content. And let's be honest, the scenery is cool in here.
Yeah.
I had to set it up. I had to get ready,
Hmm.
kind of like starting a diet.
Oh yeah.
You have to kind of prep it up a little bit. So this podcast gives you a little personal view of how we successfully lost all the weight,
Hmm.
kept it off. It's January will be 12 years.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
We've
awesome.
done a lot.
Oh yeah.
So what did you think about the last episode?
Like I said, it was just I liked the just the information and getting it out there, and it was good. It was good. I'd rather talk about the last class we had though. We did a
The
little,
last class. Well, before we go to that, I just want to say something else too.
yeah.
Like we're learning every day. We all
Hmm.
are. So I'm learning a lot right now about what is the super things on YouTube. I can't
Oh
figure
yeah.
out who sent it. I don't know. I didn't understand how it worked. I'm looking it up and I was like, John, oh my God, somebody gave us super thanks. And he's like, what is that? I go, I don't know, but they're sending super thanks.
I
And
know. Like I want to super thank them back. So thank you.
whoever did that, I'm making a heart with my hands
Yeah, me
because
too. For sure.
that's all it took to be like, we're doing something right.
Yeah.
Something right. Because, well, for goodness sake, somebody else mentioned, like, thank you for, sharing everybody's comments
Yeah.
and moving, very moving. Thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for sharing what you're doing.
Hmm.
It's so confusing with the processed foods to health food. So, wow,
Yeah,
we're
that
going to get into that today for sure.
right, right. That was great getting the text from you, good feedback and during the day it was awesome.
I get excited. I start early.
Yeah, that's right. I know. I'm like taking off for work. She's at the bed office with your laptop and just going at it.
Now you're telling them everything.
Well, isn't that what it's for?
It's my office bed.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
have my most energy in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm ready to go. I watch the sunrise. Well, when it comes up,
Hmm.
that wasn't me before though.
No.
I have so much gratitude now. That was part of this lifestyle. You start getting more gratitude for what you have.
Right.
And then I just start getting excited. And the gratitude coming in over the podcast alone. And then it seemed like the whole community like started getting really revved up.
Right.
They were like, wow, this now I'm really gonna start crushing it even more. And then John's coming home and I'm like, woo, high fiber this, high fiber that. And the whole week we kind of build up for the class. We were excited about the Thanksgiving class that we did. It was our sixth
Yeah.
annual Thanksgiving class.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was awesome.
What we really brought this year for this class was how to stress less through the holidays, how to get through with compassion.
Hmm.
There's a lot of tension out there. There's a lot of tension. People are walking in like, to their holidays and their get-togethers and they're ready to like
Duke it out.
defend
Yeah.
or duke it out. And this class was really not just, first of all, you guys, if you're listening or if you're here for the first time, thank you so much. Um, I am a lifestyle medicine coach, plant interventionist. Wednesday night, we teach cooking classes, really how to shop, chop, and roll. So people always ask, like, where do
Hmm.
I start?
Yeah. At the grocery store.
At the grocery store. So Tuesdays, I'm doing my grocery haul. I'm sharing that with the group right away. They get to see the groceries
Hmm.
that come in. I get that on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday's all about shop, chop, and roll. Like get in here, no matter what it is, losing weight, heart disease, diabetes. This class on Wednesday night is the tool to get to what do I eat next? What do I do? This is the action phase,
Right. Right.
the action phase. So not only were we showing them how to make no oil, people don't even need to hear us say no oil. They don't, people are going to be like, what is she talking about? But just hear me out, hear me out. We're all about teaching like a healthy, plant-based diet to prevent and reverse disease. And we do meet people where they're at, but our goal is to get people the healthiest that they can be. So what we do is get right down to it. So we made a, no turkey loaf.
Hmm.
You could like cut it like a sandwich.
Yeah, it was good.
That's what you had all week.
It was awesome. Yeah, a little turkey loaf made out of, it was like a seitan thing with good seasonings, and it
But
was
what'd you
just
do
so
with it?
amazing. I made sandwiches, what I did with it.
Big old sandwiches, I
Big
see.
old sandwiches. Yeah, I had that. One day I had it on, oh, with all that cornbread stuffing you made and
That's right.
excellent mushroom gravy you got out
It,
of town.
that was a
It
little
was
peppery, let's
good.
be real.
That was, but it was
I
good.
went a little overboard on the pepper. But then we had the cheesecake.
Yep, yep.
That's all I could think about was this cheesecake,
Oh man.
which it everybody's feedback from that was really, wow, we didn't realize how easy this could be to get through the holidays and stay vegan or plant-based or healthy. And that's really what we aim to do is inspire people to get this down and keep it easy.
Hmm.
Where do we begin? Where do we start? It really starts with getting in here and not just watching what we're doing, but then it's like the whole community. I'm like, well, what would you guys do, if, this happened? And then all of a sudden, like everybody just starts typing in, like, oh, or saying, this is how I would handle it. That's that support system.
Yep, yep. It's just amazing. People have each other's backs, and they really just are learning how to just skate through life, not just the holidays, but just through life, doing it with just a healthier aspect and really feeling great. It's not just all about the food either.
It's not. I mean, I couldn't have even done just thinking of this right now. We're here, we're sitting in this room. I'm like, holy shnikes, like we're actually doing this. It's
Hmm.
happened, it took off. We've got great reviews.
Hmm.
My life just flashed before my eyes, and then it went right back to there's no way I could do this before.
No.
There's no way I could do this before. I mean, I would have been in that office bed all day doing nothing in the office
Yeah.
and not really doing anything. And now this prep for the class, the work like that, I couldn't even stand up.
How do you even prep for that? It's like so much.
That was fun. Well, this was a big one because
It was.
it's it's like a show, I guess.
It is. It's a cooking
And I
show.
get into it. So there is some prep like before, hey, look, put it in the oven like Julia Childs. I always think of Julia Childs.
Yeah,
We
right.
have to have some sort of a form.
Yeah.
I had to have a form of what I wanted this to feel like. So, I remember the way she made things look so smooth all the time. And I got probably somebody's like, who is Julia Childs? It doesn't
Look it up.
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You
What
know.
matters is I just really get into it and I envision what it was like if I went to this class for the first time.
Right.
Because I know what I would have said. Geeky. I'm not going to some online cooking class,
Right, right. But it's a
but
show. It's entertaining.
we
We have a
make it
great
fun.
time. Yeah.
You have to see it. You just have to see
Yeah,
it. We
definitely.
do have a lot of fun. Lots of high fiber high fives, chest bumps, and if you're looking for inspiration, this is where it's
Hmm.
at. Or you're looking for how to do it, how to chop, shop, and roll, how to batch cook, how to meal prep, how to really keep this going and keep it simple. Like I said, people don't know how to get healthy, and it's not our fault. We've been misled. We've take it away.
Everybody. I mean, we've all grown up thinking you got to restrict and you can't eat this and you can't eat that and you can't eat this and you got to have this little tiny dish and cutting calories. It's just ridiculous because we do the exact opposite and got healthier and lost weight and continue to easily keep it off and have
Nourished.
delicious food.
We nourished. But
Hmm.
for dudes listening,
Dudes.
they think it's, meat and dairy, meat and dairy, meat and dairy. And if our doctors aren't telling us about it, then why
Hmm.
would, if our doctors aren't telling us to go plant-based to
Yeah,
reverse heart disease or, that it can be done, they should at least be recommending it.
definitely. It's just
That's
terrible
the,
that it's not out there
so to
like it
everybody
should.
so think about this, just thinking of the feedback we got.
Hmm.
We won't mention names, but people from our past, they're like, thank you for sharing your story and getting a little bit more into detail about what we've done.
Hmm.
So what does that look like to somebody who's ready to make a change? A lot of people want to hear from you because you're a guy, and I don't stop talking. So
I know. Which part? It's like it's not as hard as you think, perhaps. I
Like, what
mean,
do you
that's
eat, I guess? And we'll get into questions and we're going to talk a little bit about what's next, stuff like that. We'll get
Mhm.
into the questions, but right now I want to talk a little bit about, diets are confusing in general. So
Right.
how would we best break this down for people who,
Well, first off, you think of diet and you think of something that's just going to go for a little bit of time and then it'll be over with, and you've lost the weight and you feel great or whatever.
oh,
But
that happens even still now today. That's why these habits are so important. Keep going.
no, well, that's where it starts. It's not like that. I mean, we're just making delicious foods before we just hit was like, okay, what vegetables going with what meat and
It's
potato?
all we knew.
That was it. It's like pretty much everybody.
First, first you just got to be ready to do it. And like we talked about the podcast, like this was little prep, little
Hmm.
thinking, little talking, but you can only do so much analysis paralysis. So if you're here right now and you're
Yeah.
thinking, I want to get healthy, I want to get healthier, I want to, get better at this. Well, you have to start taking action. And this is almost like a little experiment or a watch us grow and get better at this,
Right.
by learning from the mistakes and showing you how we use the dopamine hits and we stay positive about things, even when things aren't always going good, because there wasn't all good comments either.
Yeah. Oh,
Some,
really? You sent me only good ones.
well,
What about the bad ones? Did you get any or?
well, those don't matter.
Yeah, that's right.
Those don't matter. And nothing was bad, but there's always the more I get out there, the more there's always somebody sitting back there with, there's a nutrition expert all of a sudden. And,
Hmm.
and this is great. I love when people leave those comments.
Oh, yeah. What do you do when you get those comments?
I make it a I make it a point to remind everybody that this is the reason why we need nutrition education so bad.
That's right.
Everybody has such confusion over what is healthy. So, what is healthy for us? The studies are out. There's nothing healthy about eating animals. The research is there. You can reverse heart disease really quick, and people are looking for success stories. But this is what we're seeing right here in Plantspiration. People reversing the heart disease, the diabetes, the
Hmm.
autoimmune, so much stuff. So right there, you guys, we're not doctors, we're not dietitians. We teach people how to do this. And the number one way to do this is to stop bringing animal home from the grocery
Hmm.
store was what we did. We stopped bringing animal home and we went right to the basic. What do you do now? Grains, greens, fruits, vegetables.
Yeah, like all the stuff that comes out of the earth, all the
We
good
didn't know.
plants.
We didn't even know how to get that transition, but it was easier than we thought. Once you get that going, then all of a sudden you're making Thanksgiving dinner with this, man, that was a lot of food.
It was
And we
awesome.
made two roasts. Okay. So people didn't realize that, I'm just presenting it. I'm making it look really easy, teaching everybody about the ingredients, the power of what they're doing to your body, why this is, healing or
Right.
getting us all this energy. And then I tell people, eat your plants off.
Yeah, what does that actually mean?
Well, you know what it means.
I know, but for them.
Well, I trademarked it because, well, it's awesome. But I learned all this time with people dieting, or they found me because I lost so much weight and they wanted to know, like, well, how did you do it? I learned everybody came in and started eating these little meals. Everybody restricts calories, everybody restricted carbs. You know,
Yeah, but they
this,
can't eat fruit because the doctor said no because of the
oh
sugar
my
in it, and there's
gosh.
just so many
I
things.
just put my head on my microphone.
Right.
Could we talk about that a little more? So that right
Jeez.
now people are probably listening and they're like, my doctor said easy on the fruit, high protein,
Yeah.
don't eat carbs.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, that's all we your body runs on carbs. I mean,
So let me give people a little background of where we were this summer and why
mhm.
we're talking about this stuff. We're in a room. Take them to
Yeah.
DC, John.
Well, we're at the ICNM International Conference on Nutrition and Medicine, and just listen from the top doctors and researchers that are bringing the evidence that how good the plants are and how good you can turn your health around and really smash out these chronic diseases.
Doctors getting out there and telling a room full of doctors,
Yeah.
you guys need to change what you're doing.
Hmm.
Doctor after doctor after doctor do these incredible presentations at the International Conference of Nutrition and Medicine, which by the way isn't funded by pharmaceutical industry.
No.
So what do you find to be like the best part? Or I love hearing the doctors come out there and do their presentation. We heard a lot. I mean, Dr. Christopher Gardner, first of all, he did
Hmm.
the twin experiment. Now that's powerful.
Right, right,
And then him talking about how doctors, he comes right out and says doctors aren't getting this nutrition education.
right,
They're not understanding that we can prevent, reverse, lose weight. He's the one doing the studies. And then doctor after doctor, these experts come up and they share how they went to medical school, the greatest medical schools,
right.
and they weren't taught this stuff. And John and I are sitting there like,
Well, it's just a lot. Like we've learned so much just with the being at these conferences, learning a lot there, learning a lot with being certified in plant-based nutrition, having a certificate from T. Colin Campbell and learning a lot about it is just great. Like you've said, there's no nutrition education from grade school to medical school, and that's
not
exactly
like
right.
this,
It's
not like what
exactly
we're
right.
teaching people. It's it makes it so confusing. So when people are listening, they're like, now I'm really confused. My doctor's telling me not to eat potatoes, and you're over here every week telling people you guys are eating. We're eating potatoes every day. I lost
Hmm.
100 pounds eating potatoes every day. It's not the potatoes that make you fat. Here I go.
Hmm.
Here I go. Get a pen and
It's
paper.
everything we put on top.
It's everything we put on top, the butter, the fats, the dairy. This is the stuff that's loaded with
Hmm.
cholesterol. This is the stuff that's loaded with fat.
Yep.
This is the stuff that gets down your arteries, and people go, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he was fine.
He was fine. And now, it's the standard American diet, and we're misled, and it's misinformation. And then people think that losing weight is it's
Yeah.
great. Oh my God. I want everybody
Hmm.
to lose weight and feel great. That's what they're doing. But we're really talking about health.
Right. Yep. I mean, getting healthy really should be more of the focus. Losing weight happens when you get healthy.
That's a secondary, but we didn't go into that. We
No,
didn't go
no.
into this with,
This one as another diet.
yeah, we were like, we're just gonna do this for a little bit. I'll get into my skinny pants, which weren't skinny pants is what I show people. They
Yeah,
were a bigger size.
for sure.
And I have to tell people to eat your plants off. Okay. So here's where it comes where when we're not putting all the butter and we're not putting all the fats and especially the
Mhm.
oil, I don't want to beat around the bush about that because I've worked with so many people and it's when you stop putting that olive oil on your stuff and you start cooking, first of all, oil, what? Or not, Stephanie, I need oil for my joints.
No, you're not a robot or a machine.
Or you don't need oil for your joints. Okay. First of all, but that's like you know, it's like the way we learn to eat is hereditary, the chronic disease is
Mhm.
hereditary, and so is this BS nutrition information that gets trickled down.
Right.
We you can't put bacon grease down the sink, but put it down your arteries. Remember when we
No.
first saw that picture?
Yeah.
Shocking.
Shocking is right.
Why is it so shocking?
Because everybody just dumps it. You don't even think about it.
I
You
feel
don't
like you
even
should be
think about
closer
it.
to the mic.
Do you want me closer?
Oh my God, yeah.
All
Get back
right.
up there.
Let me get that in there.
When you first take this moment, you guys, while you're listening, and you
Uh-huh.
think about how all of us grew up knowing do not put bacon grease
Down
down
your
the
sink.
sink.
Yeah.
This was,
It'll clog it up.
I was like running out to the garage, like showing him these pictures, going, look at this. This is bacon grease. This is what it, this is what it's going. Well, we weren't even big bacon eat. We did not eat like that. First of all, we weren't eating red meat. We were always trying to be healthy
Right, right.
to the beginning.
Always trying.
As soon as we had kids, I was mashing their potatoes.
Yeah. You
I,
were making our own food, potatoes, carrots,
from the
all that.
beginning, I was trying to do the right thing, what was right, and then all of a sudden it was, but make sure you start giving them protein.
Yeah.
There it is. There. So the misunderstanding starts day one.
Yeah, right.
You're going to need some protein. And where do we get protein? We ask uninformed, right? Where do we
Right.
get protein? Everybody right now is like, you get it from animal.
You get it from meat.
You get it from dairy, cheese. Got to get the kid the cheese stick because there's so much
Oh my
protein and
God.
calcium.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, I'm putting my head on the microphone again. And I say this genuinely, the frustration is out of I didn't know either.
Right. Exactly. I mean, when you really find this stuff out, it's like just mind-boggling that it's not mainstream news. You know, the health, how good the plants can turn your health around and really knock out your chronic
Speaking of
disease.
knocking out, that's why we're here. We're bringing healthy back. We
Heck
want
yeah.
people to get this stuff straight. And if you don't, um, if you want more inspiration, this is what was gonna say. Just hearing this, now I want you to see it.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I mean, just being part of it and seeing it and really understanding what's going on.
That's the next part of the inspiration, the dopamine part, taking the action part,
Hmm.
getting to the grocery store, making it up, making the decision to say, I'm not going to eat animal anymore.
Hmm.
I'm going to get aligned with getting healthy, loving animals, making a positive impact. We could make steps every day. So once you make the decision to do that, and then you start seeing other people doing it, that's where you got the motivation that gets you started. This is how it gets the habit of keeping it going because it is so confusing and we're so used to going down this one path, this, standard American diet path,
Hmm.
or, oh, let's start this diet, with your high protein and your low carb, which by the way,
Mm.
I'm qualified to let everybody know the keto diet, and maybe somebody's going to say something, and I'd love it. Go for it. The keto diet is the greatest way to increase risk of all cause mortality. And
Yeah.
people do not like when I say that because
Hmm.
I didn't like when somebody said that to me. I was like, what? That's not what I've been told.
Yeah.
I could lose weight. I could lose weight really quick doing the keto. You're right, you can.
I hear you can lose weight doing cocaine, but that's not healthy
It's
either.
not the way it works. So this is that confusion again because everybody's like doing the keto and doing this. And I work with a lot of doctors and I know what goes on. This is why cholesterol is at an all-time high.
Hmm.
This is why people are getting autoimmune diseases from all this stuff that we are misled from by an industry that doesn't care about health
Hmm.
and and doctors just don't understand. Unfortunately, it's not their fault
Right.
how
It's
much
not.
nutrition plays a role.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for all this nutrition. People are like, how do you do it? How do you do it?
Yeah. So how do you do
Plants. It changed everything once we started. It took days, honestly. Like I always want to remind people it was days.
it? Hmm.
It was days. But
But now for people listening, how do they do it?
um,
Check out Plantspiration.
we'll get into a class because that's going to
Right.
give you the
Right.
fundamental tools right there of like what to get at the grocery store, what to start.
Hmm.
It's almost like taking a driver's ed course. You're going to take one class, and
Yeah, they
it's
don't give you your license that day.
no, there is a little bit of work involved in it. You know what I mean? I recommend people just go 100% and jump all in.
Hmm.
Get into the express lane to get to
Yeah.
your destination. Jump in all the way, skip the processed foods because when we're talking about eating your plants off, by the way, that doesn't include processed foods. When I say eat your plants off, I'm not saying eat your plants off in boxes.
No.
I'm not saying eat your plants off in packages. I'm not saying eat your plants off in a restaurant
Right.
where you get a lot, it's hard to get healthier,
Yeah.
even vegan foods in restaurants. It's just hard. It's loaded with oil, it's high in fat. So
Hmm.
the confusion is what do you do? Well, you really have to get right to the basics of whole grains, fruits, vegetables, greens, legumes,
Right.
and eat your plants off with that stuff. Keeping the nuts and the seeds and necks come out and the avocados and the olives. And people are like, what? Yes, those are vegan. Yes, those are whole food, plant based. Yes, we need those things. But people come to me for, let's get to your destination.
Yeah. It's not like you can't have them, just like let's put them on a download for a little bit.
High fat stuff like that is what holds people back.
Right. I mean, when you do that, you really turn your health around a lot quicker.
There's that viscosity
Hmm.
that changes everything.
Yep. Your blood flow.
How's your viscosity right now?
Oh, it's fantastic. I have good viscosity, good flow.
Then once we started losing weight, by the way, for people following us on our journey or who haven't heard it, losing all this weight, then we started getting into cycling.
Mm.
Well, everything. First, it started with the ping pong table. Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
The first year we did this, I was honestly, I had so much energy. I was jumping out of my skin. I mean, I went from 40, sedentary, sitting on the couch, 3 o'clock, crack open the vodka. This was our life. No hopes, no goals, no mission.
Mm.
Mission?
What?
What's a mission?
Yeah.
But that's where we were.
No, it's true.
We didn't
True.
care about any of this stuff. It didn't matter. You
We
know,
didn't know.
we didn't realize how important all these things were. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? We were so consumed, with
With
everything.
life.
Yeah, with all that stuff that didn't matter of our health.
Like you don't have enough time to do this or do that, and life's just crazy.
Isn't that how it felt?
Yeah.
Everything. We don't have time.
Hmm.
We don't have time for this.
That's how it all started back in the beginning. You don't have time to cook. Hey, yeah, shove this TV dinner in the oven.
It's getting real now.
Yeah, it's real.
It's true. It's almost like your brain starts believing what you hear and what you think. So when we started learning to quit saying you don't have time because all of a sudden you can make time.
Oh
And
yeah.
if you're listening right now, just like this, make some time for a grocery list, a real grocery list. People come to me all the time. They go, I don't know how to start. You do. You just are distracted and it's not their fault. Like, make a list. I'll help you out. Apples, bananas.
Heck yeah.
Watch my grocery haul. Make the list and get it done. And you want to really bonus it up, make a list with a couple recipes like pasta, you
Yeah.
know, no
Y'all
meat.
heard of pasta. It's okay to eat.
It's low fat.
Super low.
It's got fiber.
Yeah.
These are the things that people aren't talking enough about. So for everybody listening to us, even people that aren't doing this, get some fiber in for goodness sakes. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
look at the Colace commercials on TV
Terrible. Metamucil, all that stuff. It's terrible.
all day long. Now they're pushing it on kids.
Yeah.
Kids should be crapping you guys every day.
Everybody should.
Everybody should be taking poops. People should be taking poops all the time. This
Mm.
should be a normal occurrence in our life, not a whole industry pushing for what?
I don't know.
Laxatives.
It's terrible.
And it's creating problems. So that gets resolved really quick at
Yeah,
Plantspiration.
for sure.
Right away, people are sending me poop emojis. I'm like, yes, it matters.
That's
So,
great.
you know, think about getting the fiber in. And instead of asking people where they get their protein, which I said it in the last episode, maybe we'll make it a whole thing. All plants contain protein, and all protein comes from plants.
Hmm.
And there's enough information out there. So get some more fruits and vegetables in. You'll start feeling better. Quit bringing that junk food home. And you know what it is.
Hmm.
You know what it is. Don't bring it home.
I was thinking about that the other day. I used to just sit there with a whole container French onion dip and some chips.
Don't tell them. You don't say that,
Hey, that was a long, long time ago, but it was just terrible. Like it's okay.
but they were lean.
Oh yeah, that's
It was
right.
lean chips.
Well, I was using baked chips in my
Remember
French
Olean?
onion dip.
Oh my gosh. We thought that this was good for us. The Olean, remember the chips with Olean?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get a little bit more. Like, I remember they were like, it might make you leak a little bit out.
I'm like, what?
What?
I have work to do. I can't be running around with shit in my pants. Oh, jeez.
It was it was happening anyway because the diet was so
Yeah.
disruptive to our system. A
Mm.
lot of people are, yeah. So if we're not constipated,
Mhm.
we're
Leaking.
we're leaking. Seriously. And nobody should have to be going through that. That's the thing.
No,
Nobody,
no.
you go to the doctor and it's like, well, here, I got something for you. Well, do you have the root cause?
Yeah.
Nobody knows to say that. Do you have the root cause? Do you know what the
Yeah.
root cause is?
Yeah.
It's the food.
They still don't know. They don't know.
Well, if
My doctor told me that extra cholesterol gets excreted out of your system. I said, well, why are people taking high cholesterol medicine? It just doesn't make sense. And then he just kind of left the room.
so, like were talking about, we get to go every year to the International Conference of Nutrition and Medicine, and it just
Hmm.
further solidifies what we teach every Wednesday night.
Yeah.
the nutrition part of it, how it works, why it works, and we're living it. And we didn't die of protein deficiency.
No, can you believe that?
I mean, I don't need to flex right now, but I'm pretty jacked.
Easy now.
We're jacked. We can get and then we started riding our bikes doing 100 miles a week.
Oh yeah.
That seems like the impossible. And for people who knew us before, they were shocked.
Yeah.
People thought, hold on, people thought I had work done.
Yeah,
Let's,
for real. Sure, you had work done, like, or you had what, a gastric, or just like,
people thought I had gastric. People thought I did some type of surgery, some
mm-hmm,
type of weight loss surgery. And
hmm,
understandable, it was pretty quick.
yeah,
But people thought I did like I'm not against any work, first of all.
no,
But
no,
it was amazing what people thought, like skin surgery. A
mm-hmm.
lot of people ask me all the time, like,
Well,
what
yeah,
about your
you've lost
skin?
100 pounds.
Yeah, my skin is in awesome shape.
Heck
I
yeah,
mean, I'm 53, I'm older. The more I lift weights and the more I get into the routine of that, the better it looks.
yeah,
But I've not done anything like that.
no,
It's just been the plants, people are looking for the collagen. It's actually just in the plants, eat the fiber, eat the plants.
mm-hmm.
We need a song about just like eat your plants off.
I'm working on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it might be more of a wrap though.
It's maybe more of a wrap. We can't talk enough about eating plants, but that wasn't the only part of it. It was really about we did it together, and that's what we're seeing so much of the community doing so well because they're doing it together. How
Right.
about that Saturday support group?
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that, the community and Plantspiration, what we're doing there, and people. I mean, it's you're lifestyle medicine coach, so you're there every you're there Monday, Tuesday.
Hold on. I like when you get closer to the mic.
All right. And let me
Don't
get
you guys? And please leave your comments. Tell us what you're liking. We love it. That's the only way to learn. That's the hard thing to say, by the way. But if you go and you
well,
ask somebody like, "What could I do to be better?" No, nobody wants to hear that. But we're learning, and
yeah.
and it's all about learning, and it's all about being able to say, "Yeah, you know what? I could have done that better." So, I like it when you're closer up.
Nice. Excellent.
I'm getting
So
cold again.
where was I?
I'm putting the space
Put
heater
that
back on.
heater on. Yeah, geez. But yeah, what you're a lifestyle medicine coach and you're doing these live coaching to the group, which is fantastic on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then Wednesday we have our cooking education class. Really, it's like a cooking show. We just have a blast. And then you got Thursday live, and what do you do Friday? I think actually you have a day off on Friday, but you just work on the computer. Like you're
I
not.
start off in my office bed
Yeah, definitely. Geez.
on those days. On Friday, I start off there.
Saturday, our support group.
And
It's
then Saturday, our
fantastic.
support group. So there's a lot of, this is all about lifestyle medicine is all about an evidence-based approach to preventing and reversing disease for one. But
Hmm.
then there's these, the coaching aspect is, helping people make behavior changes, climbing those steps so that we gain the tools to last a lifetime. So this is not about a quick fix. I
Hmm.
mean, I want you to get in here if it's a quick fix, of course, to get started, but you're going to end up staying because it feels so good to start eating so well. You know what I mean? So this is a
Hmm.
diet and life, change your diet and lifestyle, change your life, and then maintain it. I don't talk about it enough. We have a lifetime membership program. So once you reach your goals, people don't want to leave.
And that's awesome.
That's how it was on Saturday Sport Group. That's what you were saying. You're like, we were going over and nobody leaves.
Oh yeah, geez, it was there was so many people there. It was like the biggest awesome meeting. It was well over an hour and nobody was leaving. We just kept going. It was fantastic.
And Saturday support is more about everybody in the group talking to
Hmm.
each other like, oh my God, there's them, and it isn't all about like, I lost weight this week or I did this.
No,
This week it was a lot. It comes up all the time where we talk about, I guess I used, what was that? What was that analogy I used?
which I don't know, we use a lot of analogies.
The CPR analogy,
Oh yeah,
like the
yeah.
way that so everybody gathers on Saturday support.
Hmm.
I'm doing these lives in my Facebook group, pumping everybody up. They're like behavior change lessons I kind of give everybody,
Right.
self-confidence, to get these things to stick, these positive affirmations,
Right.
these gratitude, moments that I have with people. And then we spark the dopamine and then it gets really exciting. And then reality kicks in on Saturday. Everybody around me isn't doing this. That's what people really come in there for is a support. That's why it's called a support group.
Yep. Yep.
So it helps to have that support. And then, well, kind of what was the vibe this week? It,
Um,
it seemed to be pretty consistent.
yeah. Is this a pop quiz? I wasn't ready.
Well,
It was awesome.
it's awesome. People hear about the planning that goes, we have to plan, we have to be positive, we have to be our own cheerleader. But then the non-dopamine effects are watching people we love.
Oh, yeah, that was, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty hard watching people we love that aren't trying to better their health or their situation and just watching them kind of really going down from continuing to eat animals and getting sicker and sicker and hospitalized, with
Let's be real.
serious things.
We've lost a lot of people
Yeah,
over the past
decade.
yeah, it's been really, really hard.
Hmm.
And knowing what we know made it even harder.
Right.
How can you relate to that?
Which part of it? I think about my buddy that was sick and my best man, my buddy, man, we grew up since bicycles riding and he sees us and we're doing good and we're feeling healthy and doing great. And I get a phone call and he's got um, cancer, prostate cancer. And, and we know with evidence that you can really turn that around by just changing how you're eating. You can get healthier. You can pull yourself through.
It's one of the cancers that can be the most preventable. It's up there with one of the most preventable with significant diet and
Hmm.
lifestyle changes.
Hmm.
And we get these calls and
He just wasn't, yeah, no,
not
no,
ready.
no, I'm gonna still eat what I want to eat. And I'm like, well, it's still delicious. I still have taste buds. We make delicious, good food. But he just wasn't having it and he's not here any longer to,
And this happened over and over and
yeah.
over again.
Hmm.
And we get into the Saturday support group
Hmm.
and we hear this over and over again.
Yeah.
And
It's hard.
it's the hardest part for everybody in here, by the way. So,
Yeah.
first of all, if anybody isn't going plant-based, vegan, all this stuff, please support the people around you who are.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, because when you start realizing, wow, this really sucks to see everybody
Sick.
sick when we're doing better. So that's what's kind of going on. It's almost like a form of survivor's guilt I've
Yeah,
had.
that was.
And this happened
Hmm.
all week long, by the way. Like I hear calls like this all week long.
Yeah.
My clients start doing better, and then their family members are not.
Right.
That's reality. This makes people give up on
Yeah, it
this.
does. Yeah. No,
It's
exactly.
hard. It is like a form of survivor's guilt. And I guess I explain it like that because, and I've used this analogy often, if somebody was choking
Hmm.
and you went over to them and you started giving them CPR and they stopped you, John, and
Hmm.
said, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. How would that make you feel?
Yeah, that would be terrible. Probably need therapy for
You
like they
would.
didn't want me to help them and they died right in front of me. Like
Honest to goodness, listen to this. If that
that's
really
terrible.
happened to you,
That's terrible.
I know we would be traumatized. It would be like a form of,
I'm just thinking about it. It's just
could
not
you imagine somebody just dying right in front of you and you couldn't
no.
help, knowing you could help them,
Hmm. But they didn't want it.
but they didn't want it?
That's terrible.
That's what this feels like with what we know and why we want to get this word out there so much. So it doesn't have to be that way. And this isn't the cure all.
No.
We're not
No,
saying
no,
that
no, no,
either.
no. No, we're not. But holy cow, I told you 12 years ago, babe, I don't think I'm gonna make 60. Like I am not. I have zero energy and I just don't feel good.
Well,
And now I'm creeping up on it and I'm like, "Pff, no problem.
57.
Shh, you don't have to tell.
You don't say that. He's 57. I'm 53. We've never been more active. We've
Hmm.
never been so fit, healthy,
Healthy, energetic,
in
like,
shape. And every everybody can give this a shot and
Hmm.
check it out, put it to the test, get more fiber. Let's clean it up. Let's get unconfused about diet. Let's keep those processed foods, those oiled foods, and let's get through it.
That's right. Down to the nitty gritty, that is really getting the oil out of your blood, out of your systems, where the energy is. You have just the nutrient and oxygen transfer at the cellular level that I just didn't have before, and that's where the energy comes in.
It It matters going 100%.
Oh yeah.
Speaking about what matters, I guess this is a good time for questions.
Heck
We're
yeah.
rolling through. So we learned with the first episode, we're going to need an agenda. We're
Yeah.
going to need to be more organized. And there it goes again. Like I tell my clients, look back last week and see what you need to do to improve the next week. That's the work. This
For
took
sure.
some work to go through and let's get this a little bit more smoother. So we want to thank everybody who's sat through that first episode.
Definitely. I still can't get the mic in my face. Jeez.
We'll get it. We'll get it. You know, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're doing it now.
Yeah.
So lots of people had some questions about our personal life. But we wanted to answer some questions to get right down to it. The holidays are coming, and what a great time to start getting
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah. Do it before holidays.
Why wait? There is no perfect time. There
Why waste your New Year's resolution again on a you want to lose weight? Because that's where I was.
start now. Like you don't have to don't think about what you're giving up. I want you right now, if you're watching this, to think or listening. Thank you, by the way.
Hmm.
You could start this right now and already start
Hmm.
feeling better tomorrow.
That's right.
Seriously.
That's right.
And everybody who already knows us and who's doing this, you know who you are. Turn it up a notch,
Yeah.
eat more plants,
Yeah.
okay, and keep feeling better. And we heard a lot about that on Saturday support group too, about the craving. So, John, get to the questions. Let's answer
Well,
some of this before we get unplugged again.
yeah,
That
geez,
was,
that was. I definitely have a power cord in. So,
are you getting too hot?
but really, it's not, no, I'm all right. I'm good with the
So,
heat.
since I lost 100 pounds, I mean, my
Hmm.
circulation is great. I feel it fine when I'm running around, but sitting down like this, one,
Hmm.
I want to be moving around. Two, I get a little cold when I don't have 100 pounds on me.
Yeah. Well,
I'll take
yeah.
it.
Yeah, definitely. I
I'll
mean,
take
I've
it.
lost almost 50. Um, and
Still can't believe
I
it.
feel
Give me
fantastic.
some.
Jeez,
We did it.
goodness.
You guys could do this too. This is what we're saying. Do you think we're
Mhm.
pro podcasters?
Mm.
We weren't pro nutrition experts. We weren't pro, Plantspiration. It takes some time. So
Mm.
first of all, get rid of and let go of any of these expectations. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to start journaling. I'm going to
Oh,
start doing it 100%, getting good sleep, taking all the toxins out. Just take one thing and say, I'm going to get good at this.
hmm.
And I want you to get good at believing in yourself.
That's right.
That's what I would tell my clients. So get
Yeah.
to the questions.
Well, what do you want to do? Like number one, right out of the gate, starting from zero, a
By the
whole
way,
food,
oh, sorry.
plant-based lifestyle.
I want to thank everybody who, when I put this out there, leave us your comments, your questions, so
Hmm.
that we can answer them. So one more time, sorry about that.
Yeah, well, starting from zero, just a whole food plant-based lifestyle. Will give me in a nutshell what is it? I know you could talk for hours about it.
You're watching my eyes be like, "Do, do, do,
Like
do, do, do,
what? I
do,
have
do."
to trim that down.
Okay, starting from zero. I'm going to try to keep this easy. That's really my goal, is to keep it easy. I know I do a lot of talking. Starting from zero.
Bullet points.
Okay, bullet points. What I want you to do is make a commitment right now to yourself and say, you know what, I'm doing this. Absolutely. If you're on medications or you have any chronic disease, you need to let your doctor know you're about to do something really serious. And people who start this stuff within days, they can drop their blood pressure so low that the medications are going to be too much.
Hmm.
Cholesterol goes down within 11 hours. Cholesterol drops within 11 hours. Our body makes its own cholesterol. Here I go. I'm going off
Hmm.
topic again.
Tell me, wait, how about that blood pressure? How do you know? How do you know that,
How do I
how
tell
do
my,
I, yeah, it can go so quick.
oh,
You
personally,
have your personal
well, I have my own
experience, right?
personal experience. It was like day three, I'm popping my same old blood pressure pills, and all of a sudden I'm like laid out on the couch, like, why are my eyelids so heavy? I went from like super high energy.
Yeah.
It was like a few days in, I started noticing
Hmm.
like I felt like I was lagging, like everything was a little heavier all of a sudden. And I called my doctor and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I changed my diet. I did say
Hmm.
this, I changed it, and I just feel like lethargic. And I told him what I was doing. And I had him for 20 years, and he was like, oh, just start he started giving me, I'm turning there. I'm turning the
Dear.
space heater off. And he started giving me recommendations on how to deprescribe.
Yeah.
And that's how and that's how I started learning with my clients. They would come back and start telling me, because they do so good.
Well, that's how quick
If you're
this
going
can tip you around.
100%.
Yeah.
But if you're going to trickle in a little bit of vegan junk food,
Mm.
it's going to slow things down a little bit. But then again, if you're like on the standard American diet and you've been eating out at restaurants 7 days a week,
Hmm.
the little bit of junk food, you're still probably going to see some
Oh,
progress.
yeah.
So it's like I'm not dissing it, but
It's good transition food.
I'm about the express lane
Yeah.
because that's how we did it.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. The most powerful success stories are the people that go 100% and they immediately can do that click of I'm not going to put anything in me that doesn't belong here.
Right. Right.
And when you start telling yourself that, you have to have the knowledge. Oh, I'm getting off track.
That's all right.
Starting from zero, jump in 100%. You want to go to the
Mhm.
grocery store, not bring home anything animal based, okay? Stay out of all the packaged stuff too. Get into some potatoes really quick, some
Mm.
hummus, some pasta, some marinara sauce, fruits, vegetables galore, vegetables, frozen, fruit, frozen, and legumes and beans. Now, what
Yeah.
do? Take whatever you've been doing and start modifying it.
Right.
If you're into eating baked potatoes with everything on it, put some hummus on it, okay?
Hmm.
Eat some steamed veggies with it. Pasta's a big one. Stir fries is a good one.
Yeah.
Don't forget the massive amounts of fruit. I always tell people up to 5 fruits a day. We're
Oh,
so
yeah.
misled. I mean, this is not only is the food that we're eating getting us sick, we're not eating enough of the foods that actually have the antioxidants, the phytonutrients. So if you start looking at your food like medicine,
Hmm.
because eating animal ain't medicine,
No. No, no.
right? It's nothing healthy about eating animal. There is nothing healthy about eating animal. I'm just going to always be really blunt. That's just
Serious.
how I am. Why would I get on here and be plugged in and tell you guys what you want to hear?
Yeah.
I want to
Well,
tell you what you need to hear.
yes. Thank you. That's
Can you hear
awesome.
me now?
I love it.
Thank you for getting this podcast going. Next question. Now, and have confidence in yourself, by the way. If you tell yourself you can't do this,
You're probably not going
and
to.
if you keep looking for recipes and digging through the book for that one thing that's going to hit your taste bud and make this pop, you're not thinking of the why. You
Hmm.
have to have a why. What do you want to do this for? And you have to wake up to that every day. I was sick of being sick. I was afraid of
Hmm.
dying. And I wanted to show my kids something.
Seriously.
Like I could turn this around and be better at what I did.
That's right.
Okay.
I mean, the big thing is
Let me
I
take
did
a
a
drink.
lot of um, medical device. I work a lot, with my own business design, little engineering, and working on medical devices. So I was privied with being able to get actual medical footage and watching open heart surgeries and stuff like that to make little tools to work inside. So just seeing that, I said, no, I got to definitely do something because I don't want to. I don't want to go through that. And I really my heart, hurts thinking about that. And for people that go through that, it's pretty rough. It's
It goes back to
that
that.
is it's a lot easier eating potatoes and veggies and pastas and good delicious stuff.
We had the opportunity of meeting Dr. Esselstyn in
Hmm.
person.
Yeah.
And when he said, people think it's hard to do this. What's hard is taking an artery out from your leg,
Mm.
cracking open your chest.
Yeah.
And what?
Sewing it in. Yeah.
I watched my grandmother go through that.
Terrible.
And to think all I had to do was tell her, hey, we could stop eating that roulade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't know. We didn't know.
No,
Okay, question
definitely not.
number two.
Yeah, let me know. Why wouldn't someone lose weight following a plant-based diet?
This is a
Why
great
wouldn't
question, and I hear this all the time. So we don't work with macros. I didn't learn to work with macros. Whole food plant based is really powerful when we keep it a low fat,
It's like all you can eat. Did you guys hear me? It's all
all
you
you can
can
eat
eat.
of fruits, vegetables. They're low in fat.
Hmm.
Okay. Potatoes, low in fat. Even
Yeah,
whole grain pasta, it's low in fat. Look at the back of the box. If it's even in a box, okay?
that's
So
right.
if you're not losing weight, let me just get right to it. I'm going into like coaching mode right now. Are you
That's all
ready?
right.
Let me put this hat on. Hold on. If you're not losing weight already deep into a plant-based diet, I want you to first of all get out the app Chronometer, Cronometer. This is like having Stephanie in your back pocket
Hmm.
because I'm going to tell you log in your food. And I don't want to keep this up. This isn't about journaling your food, but it's going to give you a really good picture. And it's about accountability. I
Hmm.
don't know why I'm losing weight. I just had a little bit of a vegan Bobos. What?
That's a no-no.
That's a no-nos. It's not really helpful for your health.
That's right.
Okay, it's not healthful. So get out the vegan junk food, get out any of the junk food, remove the oils. And the other thing
Mhm.
you need to do is make sure your calories are up. It's back to that
Right.
full tank of gas to get to your destination.
This is what's totally the opposite of what everybody has learned,
Yeah, it's
you know,
why I
with the
trademarked eat your
diet,
plants off.
freaking the diet head.
Eat your plants off.
Yeah.
It's not eat your packages off. It's not eat your meat off. It's it's
Your
eat your
plants
plants
off.
off. So when you fill up with all these foods, these low fat foods, whole food plant based means whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes. Now, if you're not losing weight already getting into this, I want you to be seriously and go back and look at
Hmm.
where the oils are coming in, what processed foods, going out to eat, packaged foods, stuff like this. Are you loading up that avocado toast because it's nice and easy and
Hmm.
it's delicious? It is. But we want to lower the fats right now in this place. And the magic is kind of keeping up the calories. People still want to go into cutting
Why
calories.
don't you give us the numbers? Like, where should your fats be? Where should your fiber be? Your calories? Where's that
Fats
at?
should be
Like using that chronometer. It's kind of like rolling into the mechanic and they hook you up to the machine to check out your
mm,
car and see how it is.
the first thing I want people to focus on is the
Mhm.
fiber. We want to shoot
Yeah.
for over 40 grams of fiber a day, and the typical American gets maybe,
13 or something like
maybe.
that. 10,
It's
13.
terrible. I mean,
It is.
everybody's constipated. No wonder everybody's so shitty.
Everybody is sick,
Sorry, I
dude.
said
I
it.
mean, it's
It's true.
the
It
fiber is
doesn't
what
feel good.
really takes all the junk out of your body, and nobody's getting enough of it. And
And
that's where all the disease and cancers and things really come
first of
from.
all, before I start, and you know, I was on stool softeners every single day. I thought it was part of my diet.
Remember magnesium, we'd be taking that, you
Everybody.
know.
I had somebody who was overdosing on magnesium because they were just so used to it. And then I got them healthy and I was like,
Well,
there it
you gotta
is.
back down.
So she's doing great. So once you get the fiber in,
Hmm.
everything just starts working a lot
Big
better.
time.
High fiber should be about 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. There's really no
40
upward limit.
minimum. We're
40
shooting for
minimum.
40 minimum.
And then really we want to watch the fats and keep those. Now it varies.
It definitely varies
It,
with people's
here it
where
goes.
they're at, what their goals, where they're at,
We're
and
going to
what they're
get
eating.
unconfused really quick. So if you're just trying this for the first time, you're like, I'm going to give this a go. 20 to 30 grams of fat a day is great to get at. And you can eat upward of 2,000 calories, 2,500 calories, and you're going to lose weight if you've been
Yeah.
eating a standard American diet. Do a test. Go into Chronometer and put in what your McDonald's burger was. Put in this. You'll see
Hmm.
not only is the cholesterol outrageous
Oh.
because we don't need that, the fat is so high. So once you take that stuff out and you start seeing how high you can get in calories of the fruits and the vegetables and the beans and the legumes and the greens, it's just, and then we'll get into the recipes and like ready for some collard beans and black eyed peas and,
Hmm.
turkey, no turkey loaves. Then you can get into
Hmm.
that stuff. So the key is start off simple and then start looking back at your fats and anything processed too. If you're really trying to get down to those last few pounds, it's going to matter if you're eating a pita bread.
Hmm.
Now, don't right now start going, I can't have pita.
Forget it.
No, that's not what I said. If you're like down to the bottom line and we're working on some things,
Hmm.
I'm talking about raising calories, not taking stuff out, but moving some stuff around to really, you know.
That's awesome.
So that's a great way to put it. So I hope that answers that question. Keeping the fats between 20 to 30 is a great start, but we can go as low as 15 to 18. And
Hmm.
sometimes when I work with like really serious heart disease or type 1, type 2 diabetics, we'll get it that low, but just for a little bit. We want
Right,
to
right. This isn't
so
like the rest of your life
yeah, we
here.
don't want you to it's not a no fat, it's a low fat and we
Right.
need nuts and we need seeds and we need these things. So
But those are the good things that you have in moderation. We're not going
mhm.
to have steaks in
I
moderation.
don't want to run out of time this time and get
We're
unplugged crazy.
not.
So let's go to the third question and see
Third
if we
question,
can rip
yeah.
through these.
Dealing with cravings when transitioning to whole food plant-based
Easy.
weight loss habits versus motivation. How do you navigate that?
Mm. Well, habits. are something we get used to and we got to keep practicing to
Mm.
do. So, first of all, motivation is what gets you going. So, we have to have that motivation right away. Go look at something you want. What inspires you? What makes you want to do this? Are you sick of being sick? That's motivation. Habit is telling yourself, I'm going to do this again today and I'm going to keep this up. A habit is telling yourself, you can do this, you got this. So, cravings, first of all, the number one rule I have with cravings is hunger fuels cravings.
Yeah.
We have been taught to starve ourselves. If people hear their stomach gurgling, they're thinking, like, oh, I'm losing weight. Actually, some of that is true.
Really?
People, you can starve and lose weight, but I'm talking about getting healthy. There's a little bit of difference here in getting people to overcome that big pile of food, that big fullness. That's the
Mm.
biggest obstacle I deal with people. We're so convinced we need to cut calories. So, all you guys out there, this is why the guys lose the weight the fastest.
Yeah. We just eat.
Just eat. John, he leaves with like a horse bag of food every day.
It's my
Honest to
feed
goodness.
bag.
You got to eat. You
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
eat your plants off. So if you leave here today and you're looking for some inspiration right there, just keep thinking, eat your plants off.
That's right.
And again, I mean, this food is medicine. So this is very serious to everybody watching. If you're on medications, if you're have chronic disease, first of all, I hope your doctor is supportive of it because he usually doesn't know. But this is why plantspiration is so important.
Yeah.
We're going to teach you how to get through that kind of stuff. And you've got a community of people who understand when, you know, what the evidence is. We can do this,
Hmm.
but we may not have the support. So we've got
Yeah.
that here for you. So this is serious taking this on, but read up on it. Do the research yourself. Don't just take my word for it or our word for it.
That's
We
right.
teach people how to do it. We didn't write the research. We just
Yeah.
read it,
But it's out there.
but it's out there. Oh,
Evidence based.
question. Oh, so hunger fuels cravings. We want to fill up. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Fill up. Eat a lot of food. Like people are eating 600 calories for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's not enough. Sometimes if you're working out or you're walking all day or you're doing all this stuff, then I got to add in more and tell them you got to eat more.
Right.
And then there's other situations. So again, one-on-one coaching is where I can do a really good individualized plan. And it's not all about the food.
No.
Sleep plays a role.
Big time.
People come in and stress management probably ranks number one. Nobody can get this down if they're under a tremendous amount of stress.
Right. And stress is what sets you off, makes you go eat junk, just dealing with the stress you're
Well,
dealing
the
with.
cortisol will do
Yep.
that to you.
Yep.
So it again, it comes into all these tools that we learn. But if you're motivated to lose weight, it starts with the food. But the stress management is the part that really makes us stick. So
Yeah.
that's how the habit of this
Yeah.
sticks is building the self-confidence, working on the stress management. And that's what I'm good at. Are there any other questions before we wrap it up? I already know what the next episode's going to be called, by the way.
Nice. Tell me.
If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Isn't that for real?
That's
What
that's
is our next class about?
Our next class is going to be about brain health.
Nice.
I mean, it's all the rage right now.
That's right. You need a brain.
Well, we just listened to Dr. Ornish drop those studies that he
Yep.
did
Yep.
himself on Alzheimer's. How incredible was that listening to that study
I'm
in
telling
DC?
you, there's a lot of people feeling a lot better, doing a lot better, doing a lot of things
Get
that
more
I used to
specific.
do. Which part?
Him sharing his
Doing the
study,
study. Oh
the
yeah.
people
I mean, that was serious. There was people that
were
just couldn't do their job anymore, couldn't calculate, just couldn't focus, couldn't do these things, couldn't read and retain the information.
couldn't musician, couldn't be an accountant, couldn't play music,
Hmm.
couldn't play sports, couldn't hold a conversation with their family member. We're talking about people in early stages of Alzheimer's
Hmm.
who had Alzheimer's for like 5 years.
5 years. Yep.
Medications weren't doing anything.
Hmm.
And we're just telling you the study.
Right.
And they shared the people's success stories. Okay, are you ready for this?
Hmm.
And you guys can go look for the study. Dean Ornish's study on reversing Alzheimer's, through diet and lifestyle medicine. After 3 months of
Hmm.
eating a low fat, what I teach, whole food, plant based diet, and making significant lifestyle changes,
That's right.
meditation, they were doing like an hour of meditation a day.
Mm.
Important. I used to
Hmm.
think it wasn't, but I wouldn't be here if I wasn't practicing.
Yep.
Doing the meditation, yoga, exercise, and community support.
That's right. It's a
In three
big
months,
thing.
these people regained their cognitive ability to get back to living their life.
That's right.
Did you
It,
guys just hear what we
it's awesome. I mean, that's serious. You be in a band for 20 years and you just can't play the songs anymore. You forgot. And this guy is like jamming again.
we want to see you guys get in class because we're going to be dropping the information and how to chop, shop, roll, cook, and actually, and in the classes, they're nutrition education classes. So you'll
Mhm.
see these nutrition videos. We'll take a little quiz. It's not cheesy.
No, we have a great
It's
time.
everything opposite. Did I just use that
If
word?
it is cheesy,
It's
it's made out
vegan.
of plants.
So it's really good because then you get the information which empowers you, which goes to all the questions. How do I do this?
Yeah,
You need to have the knowledge.
right.
It's really empowering. But here we have these chronic diseases, Alzheimer's, dementia going on all over. And this week's class, I'm focusing on brain health and how to eat to beat that.
That's right.
John, I don't know what else to say. We volunteer our time, so you have more time.
That's
That's
right, you guys.
We are so grateful for everybody who listens in. There's so much we want to keep talking about.
I know.
Do you want to? I feel
But
like
that's all right. I mean, we should wrap it up. We're over an hour now. I think this is pretty awesome. I just want everybody to be the inspiration the world needs to see.
that's the truth. Eat your plants off. Think about making these changes. We're here for you when we're ready. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
Like,
when you're ready, we are here.
we're here. We want to see more people doing this because we've got a planet on fire. We've
Hmm.
got millions of animals being slaughtered for no reason.
Yeah,
And we've got people eating themselves to death. And I've got people in this support group, by the way, who are your family members,
right.
your family members.
Hmm.
And it's really hard for them to watch the people that they love continue to eat themselves to death with the knowledge and the education that they have now and the support system and the tools
Right.
to change their diet and lifestyle and change their life. And we
Definitely.
want more people to learn how to do that. So
Hmm.
we hope that you guys have been inspired by this.
Yeah,
I'm inspired that
I just love it.
it feels good to feel good.
Definitely.
Thank you for being here for me and doing this. I can't believe it still.
I know. You guys have a good one, and we'll catch you next time.
Wait, don't let them go yet.
Okay.
I just want to say, you guys, thank you so much. You mean the world. We really, really are grateful for you being here. Thank you for all your support. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
Check out plantspiration.org, of course.
Yeah.
Share this podcast and say, you know what? These guys, they lost a lot of weight,
Heck yeah.
reverse disease, and maybe this will inspire you to do it too.
That'd be awesome. That's
We'll see
awesome.
you guys next week. And don't forget, eat your plants
Eat your
off.
plants off.
And we love you. Be the inspiration the world needs to see. And have a great day.
Heck yeah.